Welcome to Oktoberfest. Won't you join us?
Welcome back to the Project Gen X podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Alan Smith, along with...
I'm the other guy, Big Dave.
And I'm Mario Morgana.
And we are in the very middle somewhere of Oktoberfest 2024. And on this episode, we are going to be covering the 85? I believe it is.
1985.
85 movie Fright Night, starring Chris Sarandon, William Ragsdale, Amanda Bierce, Roddy McDowall, Stephen Jeffries, and Dorothy Fielding.
There was also a Playboy Playmate in the movie, briefly.
Yes.
Heidi Swordsson.
Yes, there's...
Oddly enough, playing a prostitute.
Yeah, imagine that. Mm-hmm. That's her movie credit is Hooker. And and what's funny is that she's not the one that actually gets naked in the movie. So
I was wondering why it was rated R. Is it because of
there is nudity and there's language also? That
okay.
And,
I was like, I didn't think it. I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's funny because again, we're talking about 80s horror, and that was kind of a staple of 80s horror. It was like, oh yeah, you're going to get boobs in this, as we have seen in previous movies that we've covered here.
Well, it's the whole rules from Scream.
Mm-hmm. And
all of the tropes.
Yeah, a lot of it, but I don't even know where to begin with this. Let me say this right off the bat. I sat down and watched this a couple nights ago.
This was not one of your favorites, is it?
It was all right. This was not a movie that made rotation for me ever. I determined this was kind of like a few other movies that we've covered on here, where I've seen all of this movie, but I've never seen it all at one time until the other night, like when I actually watched it from beginning to end.
It was USA Up All Night.
It used to come on USA quite a bit.
Fodder.
It was on HBO back in the day quite a bit.
It still is.
Yeah, well, but I mean, actually airing on HBO, rather than just streaming or whatever. And so, it was one of those things. I remember that Mom used to record everything when we had free previews of HBO.
Oh, yeah.
Or even when we had HBO for a little while, there was a bunch of movies. We just had all kinds of videotapes.
Or you would get the neighbors who had HBO to record hours of it and bring you videotapes.
And so I remember this movie was on one of those videotapes back when I was a teenager, but I just never got around to watching it. And I felt like I had seen it because the people around me had talked about it so much. I mean, I was always hearing, Fright Night, and it just didn't appeal to me for whatever reason, and I didn't get around to watching it then. And so this was the first time that I had seen it from beginning to end.
Okay.
So, but I had over time I had seen, and I'll be honest, I don't think I ever saw the unedited version. I think it was the USA Up All Night version. You know,
I remember renting this on VHS.
Okay.
From one of the mom and pop video stores at some point.
The VHS cover is the thing that's burned in my brain.
Yes.
Because it was like every yeah, exactly.
That one.
I know.
Yeah.
My mom owned it, so I'm completely opposite.
So you've seen it, yeah.
I've seen this movie more. I watched this when I was really, 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 really little. My mom let me watch it probably when I was 6 or 7.
Fair enough.
I remember it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
I said,
this whole time I'm just thinking I've seen this 100 times. This I really like it as far as I think that the neighbor vampire guy is really hot.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
And I just remember when I was little just being man.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
If
we just learned a lot about Ariel.
Vampire, if you had a vampire neighbor,
yeah.
I wish I was that girl.
Well, Chris Sarandon was married to Susan Sarandon.
Oh.
And that's Susan. That's where her last name. I knew that was her married name.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh.
So that is, and he. What else?
So that's the vampire guy.
Yeah, he was the vampire. Played Jerry.
That's a hot couple right there.
There you go. Go back and watch, was it The Hunger?
Nice.
Have you seen that one? Mm-mm. The Hunger? Oh, you would love The Hunger.
What's
it's
that?
Susan Sarandon and David Bowie.
Oh.
And who was it? Who was the other?
Do not remember.
Who was
Is it
the
like
other
a
one?
melodrama kind
No,
of?
it's a vampire movie.
Oh.
It is a very European vampire movie, early '80s, and Susan Sarandon's naked in it, and it's like there's.
Is she a vampire?
No, he is, and so is the other.
David Bowie's a vampire. Of course, he's a vampire.
I don't remember.
I can't remember, but it's one of those like, oh hey, not only has it got naked chicks, but they make out in this, type thing. So it was like, yeah, that was like the big appeal to it back in the day. So it was
every movie you guys have picked. Every movie.
It's every horror movie.
Check out The
What
Hunger.
do you mean?
On top of it all, The Hunger is just a really good movie.
Yeah,
it's just but yeah, it's a little bit sleazy and everything you would want from a vampire, like an artsy vampire movie. So it's
pretty much in everything she does.
So yeah, I noticed you're wearing the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, young Susan Sarandon, so cute.
Yeah.
But even older Susan Sarandon, I watch a lot of her drama movies.
Who was that other woman that's in it?
I remember the girlfriend.
Antissa.
What was that the name of the character? Or the name of her?
Patient.
Oh, he's doing...
Well, considering you were taking forever looking up who the other person was.
Catherine Deneuve. Yeah. Denois. I think Denois. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a very European last name. It's her, David Bowie, Susan Sarandon. I go check it out. It will
shock me.
No, but it will. No. I think it will.
Be good.
What's the word I'm looking for? How do I put this? How do I make Dave really uncomfortable?
Oh no.
It will titillate you. How about that? It will check all the boxes that you're looking for in a sleazy horror movie. So, sleazy art movie. So,
like zombie strippers.
Something like. That's not a sleazy art movie. That's just a sleazy movie. So
I think it's pretty artistic.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Yeah, zombie strippers. Well, some of those other ones. There's a whole bunch of those that like.
They're all on Shudder.
I'm sure they are. Yeah. I'm telling you, you need to watch Don't Fuck in the Woods. Okay, it's
what?
That is the name of a movie. Okay, it is called Don't Fuck in the Woods. Okay, and it is like, I'm telling you, there is a cut of that movie that is straight porn. Okay, it's just like, because the way that this movie is shot, it's like, oh, okay, I see. This is the edited version of it.
We were talking about Fright Night.
It's on Tubi. You can watch it for free. So,
you know what's kind of similar to Fright Night? What is that movie with Shia LaBeouf? It was like a horror.
Oh, you're talking about Disturbia?
Disturbia. Yeah.
That's kind of a real.
That kind of gives me the same like vibe, like creepy neighbors, super sus.
Disturbia was basically a 2000s riff on Rear Window, the
Alfred
Hitchcock movie, and it was supposed to be like we're gonna have these these young people do this type stuff, because that's a thriller, it's not, whereas this is a horror movie. And there is a difference between the two. We're going to talk about a thriller later, but this is thriller. Yeah, there's that too.
But what I loved about this movie is it also ties into our favorite, where you've got like the local hosted horror movie.
That's
TV show.
Roddy McDowall was Peter Vincent.
Right.
He's hosting these movies, and he's a former actor also, and it's his movies a lot of times.
And he always played the vampire hunter.
Right.
And the name of the show that he's hosting is Fright Night.
Yes, that's where the name of the movie comes from.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny that they keep showing like all these old Hammer horror movies. Like that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like Christopher Lee shows up on film, and that kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, and Roddy McDowall was in a ton of that stuff.
Yeah.
And his going from I'm just a horror host to actually being
an actual vampire hunter
is.
He kind of pulls out his tricks that he used in the movies. And then he starts to realize, oh, this might not be as fake as I thought.
Well, yeah, when he has his little mirror and
Yeah.
and Jerry doesn't show up in the mirror and he's like, what's going on here? And then, of course, he runs away because, like, no, I'm not getting into the real stuff. It's like I'm a paid actor.
No.
Yeah. Amanda Bierce as Amy. Of course, she's most famous as playing Marcy on...
We probably ought to lay out a little bit of the plot of what this movie is.
So Charlie and Amy are dating, and they love watching Fright Night.
They also love fighting with each other.
And because he, of course, it's the teenagers. He wants to have sex, and she's kind of, maybe not yet, And so
I basically look at this as a preview to Married with Children.
Well, she's in, yeah.
Because those two end up married and moving in next to Alan Pegg later on.
I guess it's he's not quite Steve Rhodes, okay? That's the thing about Amanda Bierce is that no matter what she's in, she's always going to be Marcy Rhodes, but and it's just there's just no getting around it. Although she got sexy in this one, the whole dance and the making out with Jerry and all that kind of stuff, and which what we know about her is kind of funny, but it's like it's like, hey, it's called acting, so but. So they're watching Fright Night, and then Charlie looks out the window and sees that there's a neighbor moving in. They get in a fight,
leaves,
yeah.
And she
no,
leaves.
No,
you're right.
No, they get in a fight after because she decides that she wants to have sex with him, and he gets distracted because he sees the neighbors moving in, and they're moving in a coffin.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night, and and so she gets upset and leaves and. And now he's investigating, okay, what's going on over here. And that's kind of where the whole thing's. And then he's got a buddy named Evil Ed.
Who is like the ultimate horror movie
yes, absolutely.
Fanatic. And a little bit of a weirdo.
Yeah.
You always have that, don't you, in a vampire movie? Well, not always, but there's a lot of the 90s films, like Lost Boys, they had that too.
Yeah.
There's always like
the Frog Brothers.
Yeah, the Frog Brothers most definitely.
We got to go to the specialist. And it's like, it's not really like a vampire hunter. It's like a nerd.
Well, the nerds typically are the specialist because they sit at home in their mom's basement studying all this stuff.
That's true. That's why we all think about the zombie apocalypse and how we'd survive.
Something like that. Yeah, you're right.
To quote John Wick, guns. Lots of guns.
Mm-hmm.
But Ed, is the person that Charlie goes to figure out what do I have to do to
what are the signs of a vampire?
Well, yeah, how do I fight them? This and that, or how do I keep them out? Because it was one of those things that of course Ed said. He's talking to him. He says, "Don't invite him into the house." Mm-hmm. And then that night, his mom invites Jerry into the house, and he comes downstairs. He's like, and Jerry keeps getting these veiled threats of like, "Oh, you're going to be seeing me here a lot." And the mom is completely enamored with Jerry.
Oh yeah,
I mean, she is just like, oh, she is hot for some Jerry, is what she is. So.
Well, it's that whole.
It's just like the Lost Boys.
Mm-hmm. What do they call it? It's a vampire power.
Thrall.
Thrall.
Yeah.
You put them in thrall.
I think she was just lonely too. It's like because she said something earlier about the new the new neighbor's kind of attractive, and then she also has that line about and he's got a living carpenter. He must be gay. That's like in the 80s. I guess you could probably he's got a roommate. Mm-hmm. So it's which that guy is it Billy? Is that his name?
It's Billy.
He's actually on screen more than Jerry is for at least the first half of the movie.
Yeah, he's his ghoul.
Right.
He's his daytime protection.
Right, and he's going through and painting the windows black and keeping his casket in the basement, making sure nobody gets down there and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and he kind of makes some threats against Charlie also. Where it was because he realizes that. Because Charlie asked him about because he brings the police over. And he goes over there. He's looking around. He's trying to go in to look in the basement.
Well, what had happened is on the night after he had actually seen.
Oh, that's right.
Dandridge actually with a victim who's the hooker.
No, different one.
Are you sure?
Yep. The woman you're talking about is the one that gets out of the car at the beginning.
You're right.
and it walks up, and then like later you hear that she was found dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one,
But they
was probably also some kind of
but he actually sees them in like
he sees a lot of her. Yeah,
upstairs window, and he sees her bite her, and then he turns around, looks at him, and then closes the shade.
Right.
He's like, vampire.
And that's it. So he goes over the next day and is trying to get into the basement, and that's when Billy catches him, and then he comes back with the police.
They don't find
No.
nothing.
Well,
now, I'll tell you the real tragedy.
Billy made him look crazy in front of the cop,
Right.
and
Yep.
the cop's like, "No, get out of here! What are you doing?"
The real tragedy in this movie is what happens to Charlie's car.
Yeah.
He's got that '67 fastback Mustang.
Yep.
And when Jerry leaves the house, he like destroys the car.
Yeah.
And just like,
Well, you never see the car.
You never- yeah.
You just
He
hear a
sa- he
whole lot of
says that,
noise.
yeah.
And he goes, "I destroyed your car," and then you never see the car again.
right.
Like
That's-
if you destroyed it, you would still be sitting out in front of the house.
yeah, I know.
Right?
It's, continuity, you know.
Budget cuts.
Yeah, it's a lot. Well, on a budget, I thought the makeup was really good in this.
Yeah.
I agree.
I liked especially Ed when he
Yeah.
when he transforms later when he gets bitten, and that was that looked really. Now the stuff that they did for Jerry looked good as well, but
Yeah.
I think they lingered on it a little too long, especially like the transformation stuff and everything. And it's one of those things that, again, we're talking about a movie that's almost 40 years old. The makeup's still kind of like what we talked about before with Return of the Living Dead, where it's one of those like, hey, the makeup, this looks better than anything CGI ever would this far down the road. But it does look dated also, but not
And
quite
this-
it doesn't look bad. It just looks dated.
And this thing only had like a $7 to $9 million budget.
And it was it did fairly well.
25 million at the box office.
They made a sequel to it, which is funny because Fright Night 2 has nothing to do with any of this.
No,
I've
It's
never
just-
seen Fright Night 2.
You don't need to.
you don't need to. It's
Really
not
and
worth
truly,
it.
it's just a redo of this movie with new people. That's all it is. And
Then they made a remake with
with Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell,
Yeah.
which is CGI. I love
Which
it.
Yeah.
I never watched.
I haven't seen that. I had heard it was actually pretty good though. That was the thing about it. I had heard that it was one of those rare remakes
Really?
that's actually good. Now I can see Colin
If
Farrell
I saw
in that
it,
role. I mean,
if
that
I saw it by itself, maybe, but because I
had seen this one. Yeah,
saw the original,
I get
and
that.
compared
I get
it.
that.
Really,
Grew up on this one.
yeah.
I get that. Yeah, every once in a while they get it. They
Also,
get a
again, I just don't like CGI.
yeah, and there's that also. Yeah,
I don't like.
it. Never looks
Colin
right to the
Farrell's
eye.
acting is. I don't know if they were like. I guess the whole point was that they were like trying to make it cheesier because, like, you know, it's an '80s film, right?
Right.
So it's like they're like going for that cheesy, but like. I feel like the difference is this was a modern movie set in a modern time.
Right.
You're doing cheesy vampire.
Maybe. Like I said, I have not seen the movie, so it's.
Colin Farrell's done better.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
But again, I can see Colin Farrell in this role.
yeah.
I mean, that is the sexy vampire or whatever. It's
Still
I can
think the other
completely see
guy's
it, so-
hotter.
Okay. Well, we know where you fall on this one, so it's like she's Team Chris Sarandon, so it's.
Just not like you would think would be my type, but I don't like, he's very 80s looking.
Oh yeah, well, this was made in the '80s, you know. So, I get that. What? Again, this was one of those movies that, like you said, your mom owned the VHS. Mm-hmm. It was around my house, of course. Like I said, I always the front cover, the poster for this, it's seared in my brain
Because it's a great poster.
Yeah,
Actually,
exactly.
the little mom and pop that movie store we went to would, after they would get through with the movie posters, would sell the
them,
movie
right, yeah.
for like $2-3 a piece. And I had like a couple copies of this hanging on my wall in my bedroom at some point. You just dribble coffee all over yourself.
all over myself. That last little bit of coffee got me. And that was again the movie gallery that I used to work at. Had that poster on the wall forever.
Honestly, that's one of the things I miss about the movie rental places is
know,
being able to get the
know.
movie posters
Yeah.
and like hang them up. And
I used to have a ton of those.
Oh,
too.
I did too.
Either not only just from when I worked there, but even before that, I bought several of them.
I think I still have
Hell, they
a
used to give
Stephen
them away.
King vinyl. One of the big
Oh, yeah,
vinyl
yeah.
banners from, I forget what movie it is.
But one of the ones that I got when I was a teenager, and literally they gave it to me because I was in there one day and I asked them. I was probably 13, 14 years old, somewhere
Yeah.
in there. and they had the poster for Nightmare on Elm Street 4, the Dream Master, up on the wall.
Oh.
And I asked them, I was like, what are you guys doing with those when you're done? They're like, well, usually we, if we don't take them home, we'll end up throwing them away or giving them away or whatever. I was like, what can I, put my name down there? Like, yeah, no problem. So they literally wrote my name on the back of it, and they got my phone number. And when they took it down, they called. I went and picked it up, and it was in my room forever. I wish I still had that damn poster because those things are expensive as crap now.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they have stores dedicated to
I
that kind of
know,
crap now.
I know. But yeah, it was that type of stuff where, and then like when I worked there years later, we had so many posters that were just kind of sitting around, and the stuff that had been sitting for like a decade or more, it was just like kind of like in a back room. It's just like, all right, let's go through and look at this. But yeah, movie posters back in the day were so much better than they are now, quite honestly.
I agree with that. I can agree with that.
Mm-hmm. What I was getting to though is that this movie, for our generation especially, it has a long tail of like people. You say Fright Night.
Oh yeah,
and that's I know this is supposed to be a horror comedy, but it's not really funny.
No, it's.
I mean,
not.
it's got its moments.
It's kind of like an entry level horror movie for your 13 and 14-year-olds
with boobs and all. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, that's during the 80s.
Oh, I know.
It was one of the minor films.
I know, and this was rated R.
Like that ever stopped us.
I know.
My first two horror movies back when I was in like 7th or 8th grade was Creepshow and Friday the 13th Part 3, back to back.
Creepshow, yeah.
Creepshow is such good. We covered that a couple of years ago.
Okay, I'll have to admit one of the
Creepshow had nudity, probably, right?
No, Creepshow did not.
No. I have to admit,
you not seen Creepshow?
The original movie?
I think I've seen the Creepshow.
Romero and Stephen King.
I don't know.
It's an anthology. It's just a bunch of
different little stories combined together.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the bugs and the guy that like finds the meteorite and he turns into grass.
Yeah.
That's Stephen King. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, it's a great movie.
But it was Stephen King that wrote it and George Romero who put it together for him.
Yeah.
So it's
and there are ties to Romero, like the Night of the Living Dead franchise in there as well. So and what's funny. You'll appreciate this. Actually, you will too. I know we were talking about Friday the 13th in Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of little like if you go through and watch the movie real closely, like they find the Necronomicon from Evil Dead is in it. And so is the knife from the Evil Dead 2 that's in there. But one of the things there is the crate from Creepshow, the Tasmanian Devil that was under the stairs is in that movie also.
And Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah, and it's
I feel like I remember this from.
Yeah, it's weird they do that because of course then at the end of it you get the whole Freddy glove coming up and pulling.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay,
but that was kind of one of those things, and the reason that they got that stuff is because of Sam Raimi was friends with the director.
Yeah.
And he was writing, and he fully wanted to make Jason Voorhees a Deadite, to lean into that of that being in the same, but the studio wouldn't let it happen, and it was just a weird. And then we had to wait a long time before we finally got Freddy versus Jason, which is what everybody was talking about coming out of that movie. So, anyways, that's a little side.
That would be really cool.
Yeah,
if the Jason
it makes sense.
Connected to
it makes perfect sense of why he's the way he is. Oh, he's a Deadite. That's why this happens. It's just okay. Yeah. So,
but one of the advantages of you making me pay for Shudder is I've been able to go back and actually watch the TV show. Creepshow. Yeah.
I watched the first season of it. I haven't seen any of the stuff since then. Some of it's good. Some of it's not. But
I'm enjoying it.
Have you seen any of the show, the TV series?
I'm gonna tell you something. When I was little, I watched a lot of stuff. So Creepshow, Twilight Zone, Outer Limits. I couldn't tell you what episode came from what show because
the Creepshow just premiered about 5-6 years ago.
I remember the intros.
Right.
So that's how I know the differences between them.
I get that.
As far as what scenario was in which show,
I understand.
And I feel like there was another one other than Creepshow that was a horror.
Well,
maybe
back
it was
there was
a bunch of them.
There was
it was another
Tales from the Dark Side.
Tales from the Dark Side.
And there was Monsters, and there was Twilight Zone, and then
Tales from the dark side.
And then there was Tales from the Crypt, was the one that was the HBO.
Well, then you had
And-
the TV show Friday the
now I'm
13th.
getting
And then there was
that had
Friday-
nothing to do with the movies.
Yeah, and it was an anthology show. Also, every week was different, and yeah, there's a bunch of that
about
stuff.
cursed items.
You're like making a list of I got to go back and watch all this stuff.
No, it's more like, man, there's so many of those things
know.
that I remember watching as far as like recent in the past 10 years. No, I haven't watched it.
Okay.
But my mom and I used to watch different shows with different things, and so
I bet you
couldn't
saw a
tell
lot
you
of
what
Tales from the
episode.
Crypt.
If you like told me the beginning of the episode, or like if there was an actor specifically,
Yeah.
especially the older actors, then I could probably be like,
Maybe,
oh,
yeah. Like I said, the
like the episode where all the. I think it's either Twilight Zone or Outer Limits, where the whole town goes out with power, and like everybody starts to freak out and like blame each other.
that's Twilight Zone.
Right.
But the was it
Something in the
Monsters
something on
Main
street.
Street? Yeah.
Something street.
Monsters on Main Street or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they started.
Tell you what.
Yeah.
I could describe the episode.
That is a
Can't
classic.
describe it.
That is a classic episode of television right there, and yeah, that kind of stuff is
Now,
We're completely off of
now,
Fright Night.
as
right now,
all good horror movies
talking about
during the
horror.
80s, this also had a soundtrack.
yes,
And it had some decent bands on it. It had Jay Giles Band.
Mm-hmm.
It had Autograph. It had Ian Hunter. It had Devo.
it had quite a bit of 80s synth.
Yes.
On this, I did notice that quite a bit.
It had
So
the Fabulous Fontaines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was. There are some stuff on here that I'm like, I don't know who that is.
yeah, I know there was. I just especially like when they were at the club. And
Yeah.
you know, it's like, okay, this is just all like this is absolutely what you would have heard in a club in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, or what you would at least in the movie see what would have been in the movie, in a club in the 80s. I will say this when we get down to the end of this episode, I enjoyed watching this to actually be able to see it from beginning to end at one time and kind of take in what everybody kept talking about. Oh, it was also written and directed by Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Which that's another. I mean,
Not the Tom Holland of my generation.
not Spider-Man Tom Holland.
No.
Tom Holland. Hold on, let me pull him up here because he is. What is going on with my internet?
Now here's what's funny, is he came up with the idea and conceived this movie while he was writing another movie we've talked about, Cloak and Dagger.
Right. Yeah, that was. I know he did
Yeah.
Cloak and Dagger. And what is going on with my internet?
And it wasn't until he started talking about it with John Byers, the head of story development over at Columbia Pictures, did he finally figure out what he was going to do.
He did as a director. Okay. Go back.
You trying to find his...
Yeah, I'm looking at his, like, you know, he did a lot of television in the 60s, okay? I mean, like, stuff like Combat and Felony Squad and all that kind of stuff. But he did...
Psycho 2?
Yep, he did Psycho 2, which is actually really...
Class of 1984?
Yep. He did an episode of Masters of Horror. He did The Langoliers.
Child's
The Stand.
Play.
He's the one that did The Stand, the that made-for-television version of The Stand that came out back in the 90s. Psycho, Winds of War, which is a big miniseries from back when we were kids. He did episodes.
Child's Play. He also did Thinner.
Is this writing or directing?
Thinner, he directed and wrote.
Oh, wait a second. You know what?
Child's Play, he directed and wrote. Psycho 2.
Oh,
he was
wait.
a
You know what?
writer
I
on.
was looking at the wrong thing here. He did Fright Night. He did an episode of Amazing Stories. He did Fatal Beauty, which was Whoopi Goldberg. Child's Play. He did 3 episodes of Tales from the Crypt.
Oh, he's actually in Psycho 2. He's
Yes,
Deputy
yeah.
Norris. I
Yeah, he
forgot
did.
about that.
He did The Temp, The Langoliers, Thinner.
He did the Crystal Lake Massacres Revisited. Mm-hmm. I had forgotten about that. Hatchet 2.
Yep. Yep. He did a bunch and when you get into like his writing credits, that's a whole other.
I thought Langoliers was
Stephen King.
Stephen King.
Yeah, he directed it. That was another. He did 2 Stephen King miniseries, Langoliers and The Stand.
We should do an episode on just Stephen King.
We'd be here all night.
What do you mean? We should do a series of just Stephen King.
Even the bad ones, because believe me, there's a lot of bad
That's
Stephen
not what
King.
you mean. Like, do you consider Maximum Overdrive?
Maximum Overdrive is a classic. Okay.
That's a
it's
classic.
great. So
And not
don't-
only
I love
that,
that movie.
but you just got
I just bought that on Blu-ray, as a matter of fact.
What about the miniseries Rose Red?
Oh, I'll tell you
See,
something
I
though.
liked it.
Have you seen that it hasn't premiered yet, but this month on HBO Max, that remake Salem's Lot that
they're remaking
doing.
They
Salem's Lot
remade it?
again.
It's up here. It's probably by the time this goes live, I think it's going to be available. But yeah, it is
This
a
is gonna be
made
like-
for HBO
This
thing.
is gonna be like the third time they've done it.
Yeah, but the thing is that they haven't.
I don't know what's.
They did okay. So the original one was a television miniseries, and then they redid it. Was it for TNT or something like that? Okay, so they've done made for television with this stuff like basic cable, like the furthest thing we go with it. This is HBO, so it's like you're going to get.
No, hold on. The original was not basic cable.
That was on like CBS.
CBS, and it
yeah.
was like a multi-night event.
I know, but I'm
special
saying
event.
what I'm talking about with basic cable is that is the hardest it's ever gone. Let's see, 79 was the Salem's Lot. Then they did one in 2004 that was a mini series. I had Rob Lowe in it. Of course, there was Return to Salem's Lot,
and
which
it was
also
terrible.
and there was also Return to Salem's Lot in '87. But this one is, when is it premiering? This one's made for HBO, so it's going to go. Oh, you know what? It premieres as we're recording this. It premieres tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yes. So on October 3rd. So like I said, by the time this goes live, and the trailer looks great. Like I've watched
Really?
the trailer for it. It looks really good. Maybe we'll watch it here in a minute after we get off this.
Well, it would be nice if it is good because
Anyways, to get back what you were talking about. Okay, yeah, for every Maximum Overdrive or the original Pet Cemetery or something like that, that's like, or
The Shining.
The Shining. I'm not a big fan of The Shining.
I like The Shining. Actually, you know what?
Which version?
I like both versions actually.
yeah.
But for all of those,
Kiefer Sutherland or something like that.
No.
Who's that blonde guy? The blonde one that's in the other Shining.
in the second one,
The
remake,
miniseries.
in the that was almost the guy from Wings.
Who did guy?
What's his name?
I thought he was the one from. Wait, now his face is changing in my mind.
What's the
He's
guy's name? He was in
blonde.
Wings. He was the
Talking about the 1997
right. Stephen
cast. Steven Weber.
Stephen Weber. Yeah,
Show me a picture. He blonde, right? He's a
blonde-ish.
cute little. Oh yeah, back when he.
That's an older version. I think
Yeah.
he's on like NCIS now.
He's one of those guys that's popped up and stuff. All he used to be in Wings. It was a TV show back when you were a kid, in the '90s. And
Never
then,
heard of it.
Yeah, and then he was in that. He was in a Masters of Horrors. He was in what was the one? Jennifer. Have you seen the Master of the Horrors stuff?
Some of them, it just.
The one about where the family brings the woman in and she's got like a messed up face or whatever, and she winds up killing the mom and anyways, he was in that. He's been in a bunch of stuff. I mean, he shows up from
He usually, I think.
these days. He usually
he's
winds up
plays
playing a
a
dad.
bad guy.
He's played a bad guy in some stuff. Yeah,
It's always something CGI related.
yeah.
He's a bad guy.
He's a decent actor. Anyway, but like I said, for all of the good Stephen King, you get a ton of like Christine's another one, good Stephen King movie.
That is.
But then you
Hey,
get
name
the
a bad one then.
Sleepwalkers,
yeah.
I don't think I've seen
the Langoliers.
Yeah.
What's the one? Night Flyer.
Yeah.
Sometimes they come back again. There's a ton of bad Stephen King. There is a ton of bad Stephen King.
Something bullet silver. No.
Silver Bullet's a good one.
Silver
is
Bullet's a
good.
good
We covered that one
But
last
there's
year.
another
Yeah.
one where it's like he's riding with the dead. He's like he's hitchhiking. I forget.
I'm just saying, guys, we could do a whole episode of Stephen.
We would have to do like 3 hours on Stephen King movies. Of course, you get Firestarter was a Stephen King.
That's a
book.
good one.
You get
But we could
Cat's
go through it quickly like
Eye
we're doing.
and well, here's some. Stand By Me is a Stephen King story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shawshank Redemption is a Stephen King story.
Good.
Apt Pupil is a Stephen King story.
The Dark
Green
Tower
Mile
makes a bad Stephen King.
The Green Mile is a Stephen King story.
I'm hearing nothing but good things, guys.
Well, but some of these are
didn't do
good.
the
Every maybe
I'm not saying those are
30
bad.
Stephen King movies.
They did
I
not
think
do a
there's
good
one
job with the
bad.
Dark Tower. They
Yeah,
did
the Dark
an awful
Tower was bad. But there are a lot
The
of
show?
bad.
The TV show? Isn't it? I thought
was
it
a
was a
movie.
mini shoot.
No, you're thinking about Castle Rock.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Also bad.
yeah, it's not very good. And or what was some of the other ones? What was it? What was the one? Attorney something Hospital that he did. It was a little mini series that didn't last very long. And then there was I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff.
Cujo was not great.
Cujo is a Stephen King
I
book.
beg to differ. It scared the shit out of me. I have trauma against
All
St.
right.
Bernards.
So back to Fright Night.
Apt Pupil was not a good one. The
Yeah.
Boogeyman was not
All
a
right,
good
hold on.
one.
We'll do it
that's
another
a-
time.
That's
Okay.
a good movie.
He's got more hits than M. Night Shyamalan. Okay, we'll put it that way.
And that
Shamadam Ding Dong. Yeah.
Dolores Claiborne was not a good one.
Needful Things.
Disagree.
The Dark Half is not a good
Gerald's
one.
Game was
Gerald's
not a
Game's
good
not good. The Dark Half's not a good one.
I think we disagree on a lot of these.
The People Under the Stairs.
Disagree.
The
Hearts in
Mangler.
Atlantis, not a good
Disagree.
There's a bunch of
What's
a
Lawnmower Man? What is
Lawnmower Man is a Stephen King story.
Lawnmower
That's-
Man, the movie did not do the book justice.
Yeah, there's
at all.
that? I liked it.
Anyway, so Fright Night. I say watch it
Absolutely watch
once.
Absolutely.
Once.
I won't go
That's
back and rewatch this.
That's
again.
your opinion.
Do you want
I
to
think
hold
it's
him
great.
while I cut him, or do you want me to hold
I
him
will
while
not be
you cut him?
I will not be returning to this.
Karma's gonna have a
That's
vampire
fine.
move in next
It's
door
fine,
again.
but it's I'm not inviting him in either, so or her. But yeah, it's just it was.
The
Had I-
original.
had-
would you recommend, even though you haven't seen it, would you recommend seeing the second one even though you haven't seen it?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
To see one.
I
to see
can't
the other?
recommend something I haven't seen. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of again, I've heard that the remake is pretty good for a remake, which there's always that caveat.
Right. It's modernized, so.
Yeah, and the thing is with this, I think maybe had I seen this movie in 85 or 86, I might have a different opinion on it than watching it in 2024. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Like actually seeing it from beginning to end in 2024. So, but there was, again, I thought that Chris Sarandon was good in the role. You know, and I thought Amanda Bierce was charming in her role. Even though I kept seeing
very
Marcy
classically
Marcy
vampire.
Rhodes, but it was still,
Yeah.
I
They
think
survived.
what it is that Charlie, the guy that played Charlie, didn't land.
No.
Didn't land. Ed was great.
Yeah.
But he also, a little bit of him went a long way, and of course it sets up at the end of him maybe not being dead.
Yeah.
But then they don't bring him back in the second one, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So
If they
Boy.
maybe had a different actor in that Charlie
yeah, I think if
part,
they had a different role,
I think this would have been a little bit better.
yeah.
But
So anyway, so I'm a mild recommend. Dave,
I recommend it.
I highly recommend.
highly recommend. There you go. So we got at least 2.5 out of 3 on that one. So somewhere in there, and which is not bad. So yeah, everybody remember, go and check out our socials. Most definitely go and join our Discord if you're not already there, because that's where all the fun is. And we will be back with another episode here very shortly, because we have several more to go.
Oh boy, do we!
For the Project Gen X podcast, I'm Alan Smith,
I'm the other guy, Big Dave.
And I'm Mario Morgana.
and we will see you next time.
See ya.
Boy.